Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. I hope you guys are doing very well today and you're ready to start your day with me, Maha Mukhtoom and Shazad Khan. Assalamu alaikum Shazad, how are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm absolutely perfect. Thank you very much, Ma, for such an amazing introduction as well.
I keep it simple, I like to
which you just
welcome.
say Shazad Khan, that's it. But, at times, Ma,
I always think...
I don't know whether you've noticed that or not, but whenever I start the show, I will always start with a compliment as well. I
No,
mean,
you don't.
you do look pretty today as well, and your top's fantastic.
Thank
I
you.
love this color, and summer's coming in.
Thanks.
So
I'm
these
getting
colors
prepared.
look big.
It's my spring look. But no, I actually was, every time I say hello, I always think about putting a compliment in or something. But I thought it's good to vary it up. And also, when I watch the repeats, it kind of looks like we're really like self-congratulating ourselves sometimes. So I thought I'd balance it up. But anyway, how was your evening yesterday, Shazad?
Yeah, my evening yesterday was perfect. Yeah, thank you very much for keeping that in your head too.
Good. I'm glad.
That's something which we need to know only. That's it. But ladies and gentlemen, whenever we talk about evenings, obviously I go to the gym now and then where you're on the road, you're going. These days in the evening, the weather's superb.
Yes, it is.
It's that perfect blend of not very cold and not very hot as well.
Absolutely.
And then you feel relaxed, and then you're chilling. A warm cup of coffee as well, I think, will do. And then when you go back home, obviously you sit down with your parents.
Yes.
But then other than that, there's one more thing which I've noticed, and I think that needs to be our public service message.
Oh, no, I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah, you do
Yeah, because
it.
you're reading the
but
news
I'm just
today.
going to convey it to you.
Okay.
What happens in the evening is, obviously it happens in the mornings too.
It's really bad in the
but whenever
mornings.
it's the rush hour, people just do not care to indicate whether they are going to turn left, right, or if it's straight. Obviously, there's no need for that. So that's what happens to me in the evenings these days.
And it's not just the evenings. I've noticed, like even actually today, I realized this should be our public service message today because I actually was guilty of it. I was turning left and I didn't bother to indicate. Now that's really dangerous for any pedestrians out there, any motorcyclists, anyone like that. And also, if these motorcyclists, because they also drive like maniacs and they seem to have no etiquette on the road, if you're indicating, then you're less at fault. And then when God forbid if something bad happens, then you can also say, well, listen, you need to watch what you're doing. So we really need to start indicating, following our lanes, because it will make things so much easier and
exactly
safer.
It will. And then there's one more message which I would love to convey, and that to people you have to be very careful about, especially in the mornings. And that is, and I'm guilty of it too, not really me, but the guy who actually drives my car. So early in the morning, whenever obviously at times you're hurrying, and these days the timings are changing, and people, I do not know because the weather is changing, so I think the school timings are changing or whatnot, but it's more rushy these days.
Yes.
So what happens is that my car is the only car which is like
trying to get past.
Yeah, that's what it is. And the guy just keeps on honking, and I told him earlier today as well that I mean, if I cannot feel good about it, how can you yourself feel good about it too? And what about all those other people getting that noise pollution early in the morning?
Absolutely.
It might even ruin your mood. So please make sure that if you're a habitual honker, please don't do that.
Exactly, because to be honest, by honking, it's not going to make anyone go faster if you're stuck in a traffic jam.
And that's one more thing which I wanted to say, that there are certain type of people whom does not really matter how many times you honk, they will still be there.
Exactly.
They won't even go to the left, they won't go to the right, they'll just drive in the center of the road, and they'll be like, okay, the road belongs to my father. Please don't do that.
Exactly. So that was our message for you guys today. And Shazad, what is in the news today?
Okay, so then I think we have a very good news, and that is that for all those cricket lovers. And,
no, you're supposed to do the cricket at the end.
Yeah, it's just the cricket today. That's what it is. And then obviously weather comes after that.
Yes.
So your news is your news, and the news I'm sharing is a very good news for all those Pakistanis, since we are a cricketing nation as well.
That's the one I had.
So it has been decided that PSL final will take place in Lahore, and the best part is that more than 50% of the foreign players have agreed to come over here in Pakistan, and that's what it is.
Exactly, and this is wonderful news because it's it shows that we are resilient and we will get through it. And if you change things, it means that the other, the negative side has won, and that's not what we want.
And
so
yesterday in the match, Islamabad lost. from Lahore, and I'm very sad about it, but it's perfectly all right because
you-
Islamabad was somewhere second in the ranking too.
And you
earlier.
support Peshawar, right?
Yeah, I support Peshawar though, but I do not know why. The only reason because Rahat Fateh Ali Khan sang their song.
Okay.
So that's why. But
Okay,
okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a good look on the weather updates as well.
Okay,
Do you want to do that?
sure, I'll do
Okay,
it.
so minimum
Okay.
to maximum as well.
Okay, so today in Islamabad, the minimum is going to be 11 and the maximum is going to be 24. And the humidity is going to be at 48%. So I think it's going to be a pretty nice day today.
Yeah.
And in Lahore, you got 15 minimum and 25 will be the maximum. Karachi, you have the maximum at 28. Peshawar is 24. Quetta is 9. And
Let's go to Quetta.
the rest of Murree, Muzaffarabad, Gilgit, and Faisalabad, Multan, they all are around the 20s.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
So it's going to be dry, but there's expected to be parts which will be a little bit damp.
But now it's getting hotter day by day. And you know, today when I woke up in the morning, I was to my mom that, Mom, we need to change the quilts. And Mom was like, why? I was like, I was actually sweating when last night I was sleeping. She was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out blankets. But other than that, when weather changes, there are certain needs of your skin to be fulfilled because your skin is the largest organ of your human body. And I think that's what we are focusing on today.
Absolutely. And, we haven't done these shows for quite a while, but we will be talking about the things that are out there in parlors, who the specialists are, how to look after your skin in this weather, and also how to dress for certain occasions. And when do you draw the line between getting a casual treatment, leisurely treatment, going for proper clinical
Exactly,
services?
that's very well said. And then, half of the time women do not know whether, they need to go for party makeup, whether they need to go for like, I don't know how to call it.
Casual
Yeah,
or-
casual probably. And then there are women who just love to wear makeup.
Yes.
And I think that women, even whether with makeup or not, they're pretty as well.
Oh, that's a very
what
nice
it
thing to
is.
say. And I think, we'll also discuss why do people do it? What is the trends happening these days? To discuss this huge topic, we've been joined by Dr. Sayeda Huma Hasnan. She is a dermatologist. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Assalamu
Thank you so much for
alaikum.
joining us today. Besides Dr. Sayeda Huma, we've been joined by Miss Fatima Amin. She is a makeup artist and she runs Porcelain Parlor. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we're going to start with you, Dr. Huma. The weather's changing. We've gone from very cold, dry weather where our skins were so dry. It was crazy. Even Shazad, we'd had a very in-depth discussion
My
about
makeup artist used to tell me, oh, didn't you put on cream? I was like, "Oh, I
Exactly.
did."
So that's how bad it is.
You did.
Yeah.
So now we've seen a slight change. What's happening and how do we need to cater to it?
Well, the dry weather is still there.
Okay.
And we need to go gradual because most of the people have a dry skin unless it is oily. So moisturizing is a big part of your routine.
Okay.
Morning and evening.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and this is something that we need to continue right now
Oh,
because it's still
yes.
dry. Okay,
Yes.
so we're not out of the woods yet, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you're talking about a morning and evening moisturization. Now, in order to moisturize at night, you should have clean skin. Now, how important is it? Because you must see all sorts of skins. How much difference does it make if someone doesn't wash their face at night? Like, what's happening to our skins?
Well, the makeup or the grime or grease, whatever it is which is resting on the skin, it will just go deeper in the pores and clog them. And that's how we get blackheads and whiteheads. And definitely the skin would not look smooth, the complexion would be affected. So a good cleaning, even a very simple cleaning routine would do for most people unless they have a problem.
Right.
Unless they have a problem like acne. So a good simple cleaning but a regular routine followed by moisturization.
Okay.
Yes.
And how important is it for men to do this?
I
Because
feel
there's
as if my presence is so irrelevant.
I
for
know this.
today's
I'm trying to
topic.
bring you into it, and no, you're absolutely right.
Sorry.
But how important is it for men to also wash? Because we know women they wear makeup or they're running around. So do men need to wash their face twice a day?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course they do. I think if the morning and evening routine is followed, like brushing your teeth, you're washing your
Good point.
skin, so it should be just your
Part of it.
Yeah, part of your routine. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because
wonderful.
most of the time what I've seen is that men are really not careful about their skin. Or
But they still
whatnot.
have good skin. Like you still have good skin,
Thank
and
you
it
very much
really.
for
I'm
that.
just like, for God's sake.
And I think it might probably be because we haven't been using too many products on them as well.
Okay, let's
I
go
think
together.
that's
I think
one
that's
thing to be asked.
changing now. I think that's changing to
Okay.
a great extent.
I mean, not in my case because every day
Yes.
I need to get a bit of makeup done as well. I mean, just a bit, but still the makeup's there. But let's move on to you, Fatma, now. So you're a makeup artist, very nice. But you were an NCA graduate too. So how come, for somebody who was in NCA, moved on to a field which was not really relevant to what you did in NCA?
Actually,
Or
if
is
you-
it?
It is actually, it is. Because over here, I feel we have a lot of labels of what art should be and what art is. And if we look at it closely, see, art can be found in anything that you do. It's just the attention to detail. And it's not just doing art on paper or making a sculpture. You're actually using brushes, you're using colors, you're using pigments on a different canvas.
Yeah.
For a face is a canvas
Absolutely.
too. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And this is the thing. And in the West, you call them makeup artists.
Artist, yeah.
You don't make. You,
Yeah, even
you
over
don't
here.
Do you? Does
Yeah.
makeup artists? Okay,
I mean,
great.
whenever you go for some shoots outdoors, for probably, if it's a freelance shoot,
yes.
that's what you say, oh, where's the makeup artist?
Okay.
Oh, I'm here,
so,
boss.
okay. So now, in regards to, being a makeup artist in Pakistan, how do you find that? How is that? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, I would say it's pretty progressive, and especially with the awareness these days, because a lot of people are educated who are getting into this field, unlike what it was many, many years ago. People know the latest makeup trends, they know how to render your face. So I would say that it's quite progressive and it's changed over the past few years.
Right.
Because of the presence of social media.
Right, okay. I think that's really helped.
And then
And
there
your
are
makeup
tutorials.
looks
Yeah.
excellent, by
Thank
the
you.
way, as well.
Thank
I was
you.
looking, so now, yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
and then there are tutorials available on YouTube as well, which are very hard to follow.
No, that's so good.
But there's one more thing which I want to ask. What is the difference in between ordinary makeup kit and an HD makeup kit?
Okay, so basically,
I don't even know this.
The ordinary, not actually ordinary, it's just makeup that's for your home use,
Yeah.
which I would say is much more lighter.
Okay.
And then there's HD makeup, which are used on specific, occasions like weddings or even when you're on a TV set.
So is it really
Or-
high definition makeup?
It is. It lasts longer. The pigments are more stronger, and it gives a very nice, flawless finish. So that's what HD is. Like it's a high definition of makeup.
All right.
And I can't really get over your makeup right now. It looks really
Thank you
good.
so
The
much.
way you apply your foundation, everything, fantastic. Okay, now let's, Dr. Hummer, now we're talking about the products. I want to build up on this and then I'll move on to Fatima about products. But we have different creams after a certain, now there's even creams which are for specific ages. I saw this in England this time, from like 24 to like 29 and 30 to 35. First of all, how good or bad are these creams for our skin? Do they actually make a difference? And, is it good? Tell us.
As you said, you see, age is the biggest factor in determining what you need.
Yeah, okay.
What you need, because the earlier you start, and that is that the first step is protection. The first step is protection because the sun, it is the biggest aging thing in our lives.
Right.
So people think that once they don't go outdoors, they don't need a sunscreen. But even if you're sitting indoors and the sunlight is streaming in from the windows, so you need the sunscreen. So that is how you start from the beginning, and with a good routine, as the normal moistures and the cleansing. And then, yes, we do need anti-aging products as we progress in age, because the fine wrinklings and these things are greatly helped by these creams, yes. And if you use a standardized product from a good line, yes, they are effective.
Okay, now this is the thing. This is what a lot of experts and the good ones, like, they tell us. They're like, there are products out there that you can use without damaging your skin too much. But how does a layman person like me, I'm standing there, I just said all these creams. I'm like, some have collagen, some have super collagen, or all these things. And how do we pick?
And some are anti-aging too.
Yeah, most of them,
Yeah.
well,
Which
the
I
ones
don't
I
know whether
look at.
work or not.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
the
and
first
do they
thing is,
work? That's the second
I
thing.
think it would be a good idea to go to a dermatologist and know what your needs are, to know exactly what your skin type is. And the general, the first ingredient which is anti-aging is a retinoid.
Retinoid. okay.
Retinoids, yeah. These are derivatives of vitamin A, and they are the biggest anti-aging agents that are in the products. And
Right.
then you have to see the ingredients, what they contain.
Okay.
And then people say that, if you once start using all of these creams and lotions and anti-aging whatever materials, then you have to do it for life.
It'll continue.
Yeah, if you don't do it, you will go back to square one, and your aging process will
Okay, but
keep
it's not
progressing.
But it's not that by stopping using them, it's going to exacerbate the situation.
Of course, but you see, you will be getting a certain benefit while you're applying
Okay, it just
and once you
slows
stop
it.
that, so that benefit will be gone. So
Okay.
it will be back to the natural process.
One more
Okay,
thing quickly.
okay.
How do we get to know which skin type do we have? I mean, can anybody guess by themselves that, okay, this is my skin type?
I think even if a patient just walks in, he will tell you that I have a dry skin, I have a greasy skin.
It's about how it
You know,
feels,
the
right?
patient, of course, their first instinct is always right.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only thing I'm going to say is, oh,
It's
I've
dry.
got a fair skin.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Perfect face, huh?
Okay, so let me ask you, Fatima. In regards to these products as well, what would you say because even with the lights, with the sun, as Dr. Hum has rightly pointed out, we're damaging our skin. Now with sunblocks and all these things, which also help for anti-aging, I've heard as well.
Yes, of course.
They are very greasy. So what would you recommend for someone who wants to put on makeup but needs their sunblock as well?
What I would suggest is there's a huge range of sunblocks available. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Huma?
Absolutely, yes.
Some are greasy, which are more suitable for drier skin types, and then there are some which are matte finish,
Okay.
which would suit people with excessive oily skin. So you just have to choose, and the best way of choosing is feeling the texture.
Okay.
Because feeling it, like anything that's oily would give moisture to your, like you would feel the moisture, and whatever is matte, it would just mattify your skin. It's just about even with makeup, when you're buying makeup, I would recommend all the ladies to, instead of focusing more on brands, just look at the texture of the pigments and the way they feel, the way they smudge and blend. It's all about assessing the product that way as well.
Okay, now this is what I wanted to ask you. So you have all these products out there from all different ranges. I'll come to the quality of those and the effects they have on our skin in a moment to Dr. Huma. But Fatima, how do we, with all the different brands, how do we know which is a good quality? Because normally people pay more because you're like, I'm paying more because it's going to be better quality.
See, you have to be aware of what the product contains. Does it have mercury? Is it paraben free?
Are these all bad
We
things?
don't know these.
Yeah.
Okay, they are bad things,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Mercury is really bad, right? Dr.
Absolutely,
Huma,
yes.
it's not good for your skin.
Okay.
And for your
Paraben?
general health.
Paraben, and then there are different chemicals which a lot of whitening creams contain, which are not at all recommended.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
wanted to
there's
ask
also
about
been
that.
long-term negative effects of these creams as well, because even some shelves have pulled off some certain brands because they're actually bad for you.
Yeah, and I
And-
wanted to talk about
Yes,
that too.
yes.
But you can go ahead completely.
Yes, and I would like to later on when in the show I would like to educate people about how to find the expiry of makeup products as well.
I
And
think
it
we should
is
talk about that now because later
No,
on, who
what we
knows
need
who
to
come-
do is that we do need to go for a short
Oh,
break
okay.
because for all those women who are out there, you might be excited to listen to this, that, you know, we do have a colleague of hers with us as well, and then she's going to show you how to do the best makeup ever. But before going towards the break, there's one small thing which I wanted to ask from Dr. Saiba, and that is that quite a lot of times what happens is that you see too many commercials and ads where it's on television. 5 minutes mein gori gori, you know, in 5 minutes they're going to make you look as if you're Snow White or whatnot. So, and then, you know, in the longer run, what I've seen is that people just get glued to those products for a while and then they withdraw because then they get pimples and whatnot. So all of those creams or all of those cheap ways to, you know, look good, do you think that they are harming us more and more?
They play on the psychology of the people because everybody wants a quick fix. They want everything to be very effective overnight, almost overnight. Yes, these products contain steroids and mercury, which are mainly the harmful agents. And of course, it is very easy to make out which would be a standard quality product and which would not be. So, and yes, the harmful effects would be you can get excessive hair on the face, thinning of the face, small blood vessels appearing on the face. So these are the signs that anybody can make out in the mirror.
And then I would
Gosh,
love
that's
to
not
stand
right.
against the concept as well that whenever these adverts are there, for example, all of those whitening creams and whatnot, the only agenda they pick up on is that, you know, the lady who's got a dark complexion is not getting married. As soon as they start using the cream, they get married.
That's
Well,
the
please stop
concept of
doing that.
beauty
That's
we have.
colorism as well. That's discrimination too. Please, people, please. I mean, anybody can use those creams. It's not about black or white or whatnot. Please be humane. And I
Exactly.
think that's what it is. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity, but right now,
Let's go for a short break, and when you come back, we are going to show you a makeover, and also we're going to ask these very important questions about expiry dates and so forth. Stay tuned.
The Festival of Lamps, or Mela Chiraha, is a very important and popular event in Pakistan. This is celebrated every spring on the last Friday of March outside the Shalimar Gardens. The show has been described as an eloquent expression of Pakistan's heritage and an authentic account of its agricultural and industrial achievements.
नमन बेहुदा गिरदे नमन बेहुदा गिरदे पूछो बाजार में गर्दन.
The Fortress Stadium, the venue of the show, is thronged by active participants, foreign visitors, and people who watch the festival with great enthusiasm, verve, and aplomb. A large number of them are interested in watching and appreciating the best breeds of livestock. Many derive pleasure by watching other activities, such as the display parade of animals, dances by horses and camels, polo matches, tent pegging, dog shows and their races, daring acts of stuntmen, mass display of military band, rhythmical physical exercise by children, tastefully decorated industrial floats, and torchlight tattoo shows. Additional attractions include a subtle interplay of lights to weave enticing patterns at night and breathtaking acts by foreign groups. Fairs and festivals of Pakistan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PT World, you're watching World this morning alongside Shazad Khan and Mohammed Maktoum. And earlier we were in conversation with a dermatologist and a cosmetologist and a makeup artist. Well, dermatologist and a cosmetologist is the same person, but the makeup artist is ready because we told you that for all those ladies who are out there, we're going to display, we are going to exhibit how to do some nice type of makeup as well.
And yeah,
So
no, and
that's
this
what
is
it
legitimate. This is not like, we're not like selling our souls and
Yes.
giving you makeup tutorials. This person knows what she's doing, and her makeup herself is fantastic. So, Fatima, tell us what you're going to be doing with us. And we've got Suraya Siddiq. She is our model today.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just going to give a very basic day makeup look,
Okay.
which would cater to a lot of women who are working, who would want to go out, who would want a no makeup look. It's pretty simple.
And this dewy look that you've got, like
yeah,
this is what we
I'm
want
going to share
do.
that in a
Yes.
minute.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome.
So first of all, you just have to assess your skin. If it's dry, if it's oily, you have to use a primer according to your skin type.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to
And how important is it to use a primer?
It is important.
Okay.
It is because we have small little pores on our skin. It sort of like fills in the gap. It gives a more smoother look to the makeup.
Okay.
We don't want dry, flaky skin under the makeup because then it'll just be more prominent and it won't give that dewy
We
look.
don't have to
Absolutely.
talk and do the makeup all
At the same
together.
time.
Okay,
Okay, so
sorry.
while Fatima's putting on the primer, let me ask Dr. Huma, these primers, because it gives that, it kind of fills in the pores, doesn't it? What is that damaging our skin when we're using a primer?
Not really. It is just like it's a temporary effect.
Okay.
And you just have to remove it properly.
So this is when the washing at night time before you sleep is very important.
Okay, so we moved on to the next part.
Yes, and I'll just tell people about the brushes as well. Like as we proceed, this is foundation brush.
All right.
Okay? For liquid
And
foundation.
then we are doing makeup to make sure that we have a no makeup look.
Yes.
That's what it is, right?
Yes.
No makeup look. You can
Or-
always
or-
Natural. It's more like a
Natural
day
look.
natural makeup. Yeah.
All right.
So you're highlighting your natural
Yeah, and
features.
see, this is my palette, and
Oh,
I
wow.
use it for like when you use palettes for painting,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is so similar
So
to
this
art.
is art again.
This
Yes.
is art. Okay, now using a paintbrush to get put on the foundation. Now,
Good
I've
make a
heard
sound,
that it's the fingers because of the heat and it gives a. How
Depends
could-
on what kind of foundation that you're using. I'm using a liquid foundation
Right.
over here. I'm not using a creamy one that needs more like blending in. This
Okay.
is more for a lighter coverage. We don't want a very heavy look during the day. We would want a more flawless and
Okay.
effortless sort of
So
a look.
a paintbrush is a good way to apply liquid.
Yes, it is. It is, and it gives a fuller coverage as well, like
And then most of the
comparatively.
time, we do know that women do worry about their facial hair as well. So I think that's a question for Dr. Saiba that laser does really work, or you have to go to
Yeah.
the dermatologist after 6 months or 5 months, or what
It
happens?
helps you in two ways. First of all, it stops the regular trauma that you're giving to your skin with threadings or waxings, and the people end up with scars and acne breakouts.
Yes.
And then when you get these regular sittings, yes, there is a great hair reduction. And eventually they might even finish off, but the period in which that that you need it again, that gets longer and longer.
Okay, and now people, go for multiple laser treatments. How much damage is that doing to the skin, and how many sessions on average should someone be going?
The damage to the skin depends. If the doctor is careful and not using too much energy,
Okay.
then the appropriate energy would not give you burns. That is what we are afraid of.
Right. Okay.
And what was your other question?
Yeah. You want me to help?
Yes. Reply. What was the
All
second
right, you
part?
said that when you get multiple lasers done,
Yes.
does it really affect?
Well, on the average, if it is an effective laser, in 4 to 5 sessions, your job is done.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot that because I was so busy looking at the foundation that I forgot the second
So
half of the question.
Fatma, where are we?
Okay, so where are we?
So
Yes.
we're just applying the foundation, and what I like to do,
And it's
like
a liquid
everybody.
foundation, right?
Yeah.
Gee, this is. And what I would like to do while I'm doing it is that I like follow the contours of the face.
Okay.
Instead of going like
Against.
we have like contours. So like Whenever I'm on the right side, I would move around the right side. When I'm on the forehead, I would go like a little circular.
Okay.
It really helps to settle in the makeup. Like it's a
Okay.
very small tip, but it works.
That's what it's all about, is the small tips. These are actual tips we're getting today.
But the best part was that, as soon as I said that, it's a liquid foundation, the way she said yes, I thought as if she's thinking I never knew anything about makeup, and I actually didn't know.
No, you're very good. You're very aware. It's very good. Now, in regards to the foundation,
Yes.
how do we get? Okay, now Shazad's already mentioned about this desire to go 10 shades lighter than your actual skin color. How do we get the best fit? And if we are going to conform to the cultural beauty these days, how do we go for the lighter without looking like Michael Jackson?
See, now the thing is that ideally you should choose a foundation color that is closest to your skin tone.
Yes.
When you go into the Western countries, they actually give you a shade darker, not
Yes.
a little shade lighter. It's just a myth over here that you have to get 10 shades below your. And people want to have that sort of like, they want to go a little fairer.
That's
But
fine,
what
yeah.
you do is, what happens is if you're more dark skin and you go towards a fairer tone, if you do not use proper color correctors, you cannot conceal the undertone. For example, a lot of people have dark circles. And if I just apply a white base or a white foundation over it, it'll start to look grey after a little
I
Yes.
don't
while.
know why, but I think she's talking about me.
No, no. Okay, now let's color
Because that's what
correction.
my problem is. That's what I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Because half of the time,
Wait,
wherever
wait.
I go, for a shoot or whatever it is,
Yes.
people do not have a base to match my skin tone as well. And then
Yes.
they combine 2, 3, and then,
Yes.
that's what happens. It turns out to be gray. So what do I
That's
need to
true.
do about it?
If you have circles which is more towards like the blue or the purple shades of your
See,
like
great, right?
undertones, you use an orange corrector. It's an orange pigment that you use under your skin. It will just kill the darkness, and then you just apply the foundation over it.
Wow.
If you have acne prone skin and you have
Dark patches.
if not dark, but if you have like that pinkish sort of pimples and acne, you use a green concealer to kill the pink
And what
pigment.
if you have like brownish marks?
You go towards a more palish, like a yellowish sort
But
of.
we have to do it
And-
in time.
ochre.
Yeah.
You
So
have-
where do we get the correctors from?
It's available in all the drugstores. You can
How
get
have
it
I not
online.
discovered correctors? They
Yeah,
sound
but
like
now
a miracle.
I think we've done that, right?
What?
I think she told us
This
that
is
she's
wonderful.
given away all
Now,
the good tips.
That's a very excellent tip. So guys, if you are gonna go shades lighter than your natural, shades darker, you need to get the correct correctors. Now,
There's one more thing that's going on. What's that?
yes. Now
So
what
this
do we
is a beauty blender. A lot of like women would know what it is.
Yes.
It's just something to help to settle down
Now,
the
how
See,
good are
there
they?
too. There are a lot of sponges available in the market. You have to actually see what suits you better and what you're easy, comfortable working
But
with.
at these round ones, I've seen a lot of people use them.
Yes.
And I can already see the quality of the foundation,
Yep.
the way you've applied it.
And
It's
there's
fantastic.
only one thing which I would love to mention over here. That is that for all those makeup artists, whenever, for example, if it's a bridal makeup or whatever, please make sure that it's not just the face which looks 10 shades lighter than
Yeah,
your hands and feet
exactly,
as well.
exactly.
Because then it's very evident that you've probably done something very horrible.
You know,
to
I've also
yourself.
noticed that happens. But okay, now, in regards to the lights, we talked about the sun already. But now let's move quickly onto the bridal aspect, because that's a very good point Shazad made.
Yes.
The lighting, and the things that were around. How much damage is that actually doing? Because people spend days in, you spend the whole day under heavy lights, thick makeup. What is thick makeup actually doing to the skin?
The thick makeup, it is just a foreign body on your skin. You see, you have to remove it.
Okay.
And you have to go with what is right for your skin. If
Right.
you have a dry skin, you have to apply a moisturizer under it.
Okay.
You have to pamper your skin a little bit. You have to use the right products. Otherwise, with these days, the makeup is very good, quality, and if you're using the right products, it doesn't damage your
And then
skin.
I think
Excellent.
we should ask about the dark circles as well. So what do you think that we need to do about dark circles?
Because you can drink loads of water, you can sleep
Whatever,
enough, and
they're
you're
still there.
The best thing would be to use an eye gel as early in the age as you get the idea.
What's that? Sorry.
Okay, so she's, yeah.
An eye gel or any eye
Eye gel,
cream,
alright,
yes.
yeah.
You should start using it at a very early age.
Okay.
Because we are losing collagen from here.
Okay.
So, and this is the most delicate skin in the body.
Okay.
So it would take the effects of the sun, the straining of the eyes, the late nights, everything, you know, not the good diet.
Yeah.
So everything will affect and it will show it on the skin.
Okay, and around what age would you recommend? Because people, this is this big debate, isn't it? At
Well,
what
I'm just
age?
24 right now.
You're like 15, no?
I just born. Happy birthday.
So how would you decide when to start using anti-wrinkling and these dark circles?
The eye gels, I would say even in the 20s.
Okay, so he's 24, so you would
He's
use
the
it?
right candidate,
Okay,
yes.
right. Yeah, you should start using it. Our very own Dorian Gray, as I like to call him. Now, what are we doing now, Fatima?
So what we're doing is we've moved on to the eye. I've used an eye primer which helps to give a long-lasting look to your makeup, and I've just filled in the crease line with.
Okay, so after the face primer, you have to use an eye primer.
Yes, they're two different things.
So very quickly, we've only left with 3 minutes, hardly.
Okay, sure.
No, you're left with 1 minute.
So I'm just like blending a very neutral shade in. And I'm using a blending brush. It's like a more poofy little brush, which really helps to settle in the makeup in the crease.
Okay. And how did you put the makeup on the crease? With another brush?
Yeah, with the brush.
Oh, with the blender brush, okay.
With the blending brush, yes.
Okay.
And
For every part of your face, you've got a different brush or a technique.
Yes,
you probably
yes,
put
yes.
on.
Absolutely.
That
Whatever
is
you
why
want to
they're
put
called
on.
the artists.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you call
see,
it.
this is an eyeshadow brush. This is a blending brush. This is an eyeshadow. It's more flatter. It's more like.
And the eyeshadow brush is used for putting eyeshadow all over the eye?
Yes.
Okay.
On the lid specifically, not the crease line.
Okay.
Well, there's one more
And you
thing.
didn't put any compact powder on Soraya's
Not yet.
skin?
You know
And then
why?
on the
Because I'm letting the foundation sit and bake on the skin.
Okay.
It's very important. If you want like a more, if you want like a flawless coverage, you need to let the concealer or the foundation sit on your skin. It has to bake. That's a new technique, like scrubbing, and you have contouring. There are lots of new techniques.
Excellent.
And then
I
there's
did
one
not
more
know
thing
this.
I was watching on the internet. Sorry for attention to detail, but people are using silicone pads for base and makeup too.
Yes, well, to be
does that do?
honest, I haven't tried it, so I can't tell
Okay.
you about it yet.
Yeah.
But what I do feel while I saw that tutorial was how it's more like plasticky surface. How can you use? It's basically introduced to use maximum product and not avoid wastage, right? But it doesn't make sense to me because I feel like how can you take off everything from a plastic, silicone sort of a.
Okay. But I feel like we're going to have to do another show on this because they're really actually running very short of time.
It's perfectly all right.
But it already looks so nice.
Already does.
You can even look at it, even on the screen, it's really working on the screen. And okay, quickly, before I really wanted to ask this. Now, as a makeup artist, okay, now over here, all the brides, I'm not just saying this, they look beautiful. You know, Pakistani women are beautiful women. But I've noticed a trend, which is that with makeup, you know, everyone has the same, basically, makeup style. You have this specific shading, specific contouring. Is that because of the style of the makeup, which you would get universally, or is it that we are very narrow in our experimentation?
Well, I would not agree to that
Okay.
completely, Maha, because a lot of new makeup artists, they're using different techniques. They want to stand out. They have their own signature styles. Like people in Karachi are doing makeup very differently from how they're doing it in Islamabad. So I would not say that they have
People
the
in China even, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Geographical locations.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think
I
that's
thought you were
are we done by now?
Yeah, we're just a little
Or
late.
we're almost
that
there?
was so quick as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're just going to
So ladies and gentlemen, this is the type of makeup which your husband might love if you're around. Probably you're coming back from office or you're going to work. I mean, that's
Or
what it
you
is.
might like it for yourself if you like to do makeup for
Yeah.
yourself too. But it's fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Umar, for your time. It's an
It was
absolute
a pleasure
pleasure
to
having
be
you on the
here.
show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Soraya. It's wonderful. Like what, very fast. And thank you,
You know,
Fatima, so much.
it's like a luxurious treatment that you just sit and, you know, somebody's probably
It's
doing all of these
wonderful.
brushes on
You
your
would
face
know
as
every
well.
morning you get that.
Yeah.
So with that, do log onto our Facebook fan page.
Which which is with the name of World This Morning.
Our Twitter page.
World This Morning without a G.
Our Daily Motion and YouTube page.
World This Morning and World This Morning.
And the repeat is at?
It's going to be at 11 p.m.
And we will request Fatima and Dr. Ahmed to come back in the show very soon to complete our conversation.
And I think we are going to wrap up with her face as well. So that's how good you're going to look once you're going to get a
That's
professional makeup
wonderful.
done. Look after yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3.
Good
morning.
morning.